All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing from Lernerville. Heat 1 will see Kelly Wheeler and Pops Moore on the front row. Pat Boyce, Armando Melgoza on the second row. Roger Craig, Greg Boydell on the third row. John Tobias rounds out the field for Heat 1. Everybody getting stacked up on pit exit. Pace car begins rolling, all the drivers rolling behind. Some of them making sure they go over to the right to avoid that big drop as you come out onto turn 4. And they all get stacked up, ready to go. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like, follow, subscribe, and share button. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the YouTube. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. We are underway. Heat 1 at Lernerville. And already one car off. It's Melgoza. Not the way he wanted this season to start. Armando had a rough season last season, but ended it on a high note. Tonight gets a little bumpy at the start. Pops Moore is taking the lead over Kelly Wheeler, and Pops just set the fastest lap so far. Kelly, though, right in his tracks. Whoa, a big bottle out of Kelly. Pat Boyce closing in, some contact with Boydell. Boydell's got a big run. Pat's going to go back down to the bottom, try and make that crossover, can't do it. Boydell right on the back bumper of Wheeler as well. Boyce back on the attack. Boyce sends it big time through 3 and 4. White flag one more time around. While they battle for second, Pops runs away. And Pops Moore wins Heat 1. Pat Boyce crossed the line in second. Kelly Wheeler takes third. On to heat number 2, Bob Curtis, Terry Landis have the front row. Cale Bixler, Greg Parmalee on the second row. Bill Calder and Mayor Bixler round out the field for heat 2. Everybody stacked up, ready to go. Worth reminding everybody, all these drivers are 55 and over. One of them, I'm told, is 85 years old. I've never asked which one, but you kind of got to hope it's one of the guys winning every race. All right, here we go. Pace car is in. Heat 2. Green flag is in the air. 3 wide at the start-finish line. They are going hard tonight. Landis gets the run out of turn 2 to the lead. Cale Bixler on the move. Whoa, close call out of 4. 3 wide back behind. We've got 2 going off the track. Greg Parmalee off the track. Bill Calder has a problem as well. Meanwhile, Landis still has the lead. Mikhail Bixler getting closer, as is Mayor Bixler. Bob Curtis back and forth, Calder in fifth. Greg Parmalee did take it to pit road. And due to that incident, setting a holy cow, we've got a car around, I believe it was Bob Curtis around on the backstretch. 2 laps to go, close call for the leader. Here goes Cale to the bottom. Terry Powers out, down the back straightaway. Cale down to the high side through 3 and 4. Big run, white flag. Terry has it, but Cale has the run out of the turn. Down into 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? They are both full send. Terry Landis wins Heat 2. Man, talk about a race. These guys definitely came to put a show on tonight. I'm looking forward to the feature more than ever. Now the drivers do have a couple minutes for warm-up here. And while they're out on track getting warm-ups in, don't forget, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the YouTube. We're going to have a lot of exciting stuff coming very soon. Plus, we release over 10 YouTube shorts a day. There's always something to watch to keep you folks entertained. Boy, it got a little dusty as the sun starts to set. David, I can understand, man. You had a great run. Whoa, holy cow. You had a great race last night. How you doing, buddy? I think some of the drivers may have forgot warm-up is to get some practice in, and they are all sending it into each other in some cases. And the pit road exit here is so tricky. That big drop-off, not to mention it's right in the middle of the racing line, out of 4. Mayor Bixler gets it out on track. Tobias is out on track. Greg Parmalee. Terry Landis out on track, as well as defending champ Pops Moore. Well, David, I certainly hope to see more soon, bud. As David Lux is mentioning, if you missed the awesome race at Bristol Dirt last night, you can find it on our YouTube channel, Jones BS Racing. Went dirt racing in the ARCA cars. That was a sight to see. Warm-up is winding down, and folks, don't forget it is a doubleheader night. So right after this, they will head to Daytona and unpack the trucks to go at it again. It's a great night to start the season. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The feature from Lernerville. Pops Moore, Terry Landis on the front row, Pat Boyce and Cale Bixler of the second row, Kelly Wheeler and Mayor Bixler on the third row, Greg Boydell, Bill Calder of the fourth row, John Tobias and Bob Curtis rounding out the top 10. Roger Craig starts in 11th next to Greg Parmalee in 12th. Armando Melgoza rounds out the field. And we saw Armando already having problems in his heat. Hopefully that's the only problem he has this season. So many times last season he'd be having a good run moving through the field. Bad luck would catch him. He did get that great finish in the Asphalt Series at the end of the last season, but man, it would be awesome to see him make a turnaround. And the question does remain, we're about to find out, can anybody beat Pops Moore? Pace car takes him around one last time. Down the back straightaway they go into 3 and 4. Pace car is in. Here we go. Out of turn 4. The green flag flies. The season opener feature is underway at Lernerville. Terry Landis quickly tell, we've got a car tumbling down the backstretch. Caution is out. And it does look like it was Bill Calder. John Tobias may have gotten caught up in it as well. See what happened with Bill. They go off into 1 and 2, 3 wide. Oh, Bill gets up on the rim. He goes around. And John Tobias gets bumped from behind. Man, he tumbled all the way down the backstretch. Some say he is still tumbling to this day. Pops Moore currently has the lead. Terry Landis in second. Pat Boyce in third. Cale Bixler, Kelly Wheeler rounding out the top 5. Lights are out. They stack back up for the restart. Season opener, everybody's trying to get everything they can right from the drop of the green. When you go into turn 1, lap 1, 3 wide, things tend to go wrong. Here we go, pace car is in. Green flag back in the air, pops away like a bullet. Landis right there on his bumper. Pat Boyce right up on the edge. Back down into 1 and 2. A lot of action back behind. Greg Boydell, Roger Craig battling back and forth at 7th and 8th. Greg Parmalee trying to reel him in 9th. Cale Bixler, though, has taken caution, is back out. And it looks like the top 2 were involved. It Looks like Pops Moore and Terry Landis having some problems early. Let's see what happened. Pops heads off into 1 and 2. Landis slides up the track. They get together and they just get stuck together. They'll both maintain the lead lap but lost a lot of track position. Pops has taken his car to pit road. Terry Landis has not. Pops already on his way back out. But Cale Bixler up front for the first time tonight. As everybody stacks back up for the restart. Cale Bixler and Pat Boyce have the front row as we get ready to go back to green. And here we go, out of turn 4, the green flag flies. Cale is away like a bullet. Kelly Wheeler already back up into third. Greg Boydell in fourth. Bob Curtis has a problem on the whoa. Roger Craig and caution is back out. Bob Curtis and Terry Landis involved. Let's see what happened back behind. There's Bob in the yellow car in the moly cow. Landis trying to come back. Ouch! Everybody just piles in. It looked like Bob just could not get the car rolling. And after hitting him, Landis goes over the brim. Cale Bixler still in the lead. Armando Melgoza got caught up in that. He went to pit road, as did Bob Curtis. And they get the 1 to green and stack back up. Everybody tightening up on the backstretch. Cale Bixler in control of the restart. Here we go, out of turn 4. Cale on the gas, green flag flies. Pat was obviously anticipating it. He was cautioned, is back out immediately. Looks like there may have been an issue with Bill Calder. Let's see what happened. Here they are coming down for the restart. On the power, and Calder just does not get going. I'm betting a couple of drivers got a penalty. The ones that went underneath him on that restart. Cale Bixler also went to pit road. And Pops Moore is cycled back to the lead. As they get the 1 to green. Well, looks like it's going to be Pat Boyce and Kelly Wheeler back up front now as they come through 3 and 4. Green flag is back in. That was interesting. Everybody is going. Pat Boyce in the lead. Half of the field is currently being scored a lap down. Pat Boyce, Kelly Wheeler, the top 2. Greg Boydell in 3rd. Greg Parmalee in 4th. And John Tobias in 5th. And caution is out. Let's see. Looks like Bill Calder may have been involved in this one. Let's take a look back where Pops Moore was. Oh, just looks like that was a problem on the restart. And Bill Calder back behind. Oh, he goes over the edge. He takes the really wide line around here. And wow, that's wild. Well, I can safely say this. Every time I think I've seen it all after almost 5 years of doing this, they still surprise me. Looks like Pat Boyce, Kelly Wheeler on the front row again. And it appears the green flag is being delayed. Looks like the field is waiting on the pace car, maybe. There it comes, so we may get another 1 lap delay here. Not sure what is going on. I know the pace car is not caught up to the... Okay, so it does appear they are trying to correct that scoring issue. And I do believe they've got it squared away. From the looks of it. But there's the pace car. Now you still gotta wait for the pace car to get up to the front before they can send him back to pit road. He has finally got there, so he should go green next time by. And it looks like everybody is back in the correct places on the correct lap. All right, everybody is stacked up on the backstretch. And here they come out of turn 4. And nope, we are delaying it one more lap. Fortunately, it does appear everybody is stacked up in the right positions, back on the correct laps. And here they go, green flag, back in the air, Pat is away. Everybody side by side, back behind Kelly Wheeler now into second. Boydell and Parmalee practically leaning on each other out of 2. Boydell pulls up into third. Hobbs Moore on the move, back up into 8th. Pat has a 9/10 of a second lead at the moment. Armando Melgoza is going to pit road. Kelly Wheeler currently in second as Boydell right on the bumper. John Tobias has had a problem back behind. He is now on pit road. Meanwhile, Pat Boyce is checking out. Pat's got a big lead at the moment on Kelly Wheeler. Greg Boydell in third, Greg Parmalee in fourth, Cale Bixler now up into 5th. Roger Craig, Pops Moore, and Mayor Bixler round out the 8 cars on the lead lap. Greg Boydell right to the back bumper of Kelly Wheeler. Whoa, almost some contact out of turn 2. That got a little spicy. He had to check up, and it is allowing Cale Bixler and Greg Parmalee to get closer. While they all battle behind, Pat Boyce has a 1.5 second lead. And a little bit of a battle back behind. Greg Parmalee, Roger Craig, Pops Moore as they get 5 to go. Now 4 laps to go for Pat. Caution! The caution is out with 4 to go. And I think I know what happened. I'm double checking. I think the event that triggered the caution was no fault of anybody's. But John Tobias rolls out coming off pit road. And when you exit pit road here, as we mentioned earlier, you're right in the racing line. And yes, that is what drew the caution. Not the first time we have seen that issue at Lernerville, but now the field tightens up for a 3-lap battle. They will go single file for the restart. Pat Boyce has been the most dominant driver so far tonight. Can he hold on for 3 more laps? Track really starting to slick off on entry. Here they go. Green flag back in the air. 3 laps to go. Kelly trying to stay within striking distance. Greg Boydell right behind. Boydell right up on the edge. He goes off. 2 to go. Caution. So we will get a green-white checkered. Let's take another look at what happened with Boydell. Greg was definitely pushing it, trying to reclaim some ground here. Gets right up into the cushion. Remember, there's no wall up there. And that's what happens when there's not. So one more restart for Pat Boyce. Did Kelly Wheeler or Cale Bixler back behind learn anything on that last one that they can use to get past him this time? And don't forget, folks, after we talk to the top 3, we're going to Daytona. The trucks will be on track. Lights are out. They are stacked up, single file, ready to go. Pat Boyce in control of the restart. Here they go. Pace car is in. And green flag back in the air. 2 laps to go at Lernerville. Pat clears once again. Down into 3 and 4. He's starting to build a little bit of a gap. Wow! White flag flies. Cale Bixler now to second. He is sending it, trying to get that win. Down into 3 and 4. Cale sends it one last time. Cale Bixler pulls off the win at the line. What a move! Let's see. Let's back this up just a hair more. All right, watch Cale Bixler down into 3 and 4. This is coming to the white flag. Shoots by Kelly on the high side. Drives it deep into 1 and 2. Somehow keeps it on the track. Full send down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 and just doesn't lift. Wow. Everybody lined up at the start-finish line. And we will get a word with our top 3 here in just a moment. But folks, don't forget, make sure you're following on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. And let's get a word with 3rd place, Kelly Wheeler. Kelly, I really during practice thought you were going to be the one to beat tonight, man. You were fast out there.
Well, I'm normally pretty quick, but once the track dries, I ain't drove these cars that much. And once the track dries out, I still need to learn a little bit more throttle control. As long as the track has got bite in it, I'm pretty good. But once it starts drying and gets slick, I've got to readjust my daggone foot a little bit.
I do have to ask, coming to the white flag, Cale just flew by you coming out of turn 4 like you were standing still. Did you even see him coming?
Yeah, I seen him coming on the outside, but I was trying to give him room because I knew he was faster than me. So I kind of let him go and didn't even try to give a fight, but I knew he was faster, so wasn't no sense in it.
Well, man, a great job, a great way to start the season, buddy. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, first off, I got to thank my wife for letting me do this. I got to thank all the guys at FTM, Full Throttle Motorsports, for letting me hang out with them and helping me out when I need some help. I got to thank C2C for giving us a place to race. I got to thank you for doing all your broadcasting and stuff. And I got to thank DNS Side and the Remodeling and Ingersoll Rand.
Great job tonight, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Kelly Wheeler comes home in 3rd. Pat Boyce comes home in 2nd. Pat, I have seen some wins stolen on the last lap before, but none that close. You've got to be a little bit heartbroken.
I am, but I was kind of taking it just a tad bit easy. But, yeah, I didn't know he was coming like that.
I don't think he actually cranked the engine up till about 2 laps to go. Suddenly he was flying around, and it was all I could do to keep a camera on him.
Yeah, it was fun.
Man, I do have to say, at one point, you hopped out very quickly to a 1.5 second lead, and if not for a couple late race cautions, that race was yours.
Yeah, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Most of the time, I don't.
Well, it was an awesome run tonight, man. Congratulations. Great finish. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank the Mauer Farm Management, Coast to Coast, Salty Dogs, Young Gun Creations, of course you, the broadcast, and all the admins.
Well, great job tonight.
Thank you.
And finally, our winner, Cale Bixler. So Cale, I'm guessing you found another gear with about 3 laps to go. That's what it looked like from up here.
Yeah, I kind of knew where I was going to be. I went to the back, and I knew just wait my time and be patient, and I knew when to turn it on there. So,
well, you definitely turned it on. That last 2 laps, like I told Pat, I've seen some races stolen on the last lap, but man, it does not get any closer than that. In that last 2 laps, I forgot to check, but I think you may have set one of the fastest laps.
yeah, I was coming. I had gotten past Kelly, and I thought, well, I'll just try to run down Pat. And I knew that high side coming out of 4 was pretty quick, and I was just hoping Pat left a little bit of room, and he did. And to be honest with you, it was so close. I thought I got second, and then I looked over, and it was just such a tight race. And Pat did such a good job giving me that room.
It definitely was a tight race, but man, an awesome finish. You definitely need to celebrate that one, buddy. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Malware Farm Management, Flatline Bit Racing Bodies, Salty Dogs Racing, Coast to Coast, everybody who puts that on, and then my main sponsor, Schroeder Angus. Probably the best cut of meat you could ever get in the world, in my opinion. And if you need anything, reach out to Doug and Drew.
Well, great job, a great win, and a great move for the win. Congrats.
Thanks a lot.
Well, it doesn't get any closer than that. Less than 1/100th of a second. Well, it might get closer. We're going to Daytona. Stick around, folks. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the trucks at Daytona. If this finish was close, can you imagine what that's going to be? Stick around, everybody.